Hi there, my name is Ben Conway, and together with my wife Amanda Conway, we are the pastors of Tree of Life Church in Dagenham in Essex, and we want to welcome you. We're so glad you've joined us for this first session of this Discover Jesus course that we have set up. And this first session is about discipleship, and I promised you that we'd find out about Jesus in his own words. So I'm going to jump right in and look at the words of Jesus, what Jesus actually said. So I'm reading from my Bible here, and I'm reading from Matthew chapter 7. I'm going to start verse 24. It says this, and Jesus has just been preaching for hours and hours, and he's in the middle of a sermon. He's just wrapping up his sermon, actually, and he says, whoever hears these sayings of mine and does them, so whoever listens to what Jesus says and does them, he's like a wise man who builds his house upon a rock. And the rain came down, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon the house, and it didn't fall because it was built on the rock. But everyone who hears these sayings of mine and does not do them will be like a foolish man who built his house on the sand. And the rain came down, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat on the house, and it fell, and great was its fall. So Jesus says there's two kinds of people in the world. There's the people who listen to what he says, and the people who don't listen to what he says. And Jesus says, if you listen to what he says, then you're wise, and it's like building a house on a rock. He said, if you don't listen to what he says, then you're foolish. And that's like building your house on the sand. Now, what I want you to be aware of is that both these people, whether you are someone who listens to Jesus or doesn't listen to Jesus, notice that storms came to both of these people. Storms come to everyone. Rain happens to everyone. Have you noticed that? You can't be so holy and goody two-shoes that the rain just doesn't fall on you. It falls on everyone. We all have storms of life come to us. We all have to go through life. Stuff happens, and we all know it, okay? But here's the thing. If you've built on the rock and you've listened to Jesus, then you can go through those storms, and you won't collapse, and you won't fall apart. But if you don't listen to Jesus and the storms happen, you're going to fall, and it's going to be a big fall. And so this is one of the reasons why we need to listen to Jesus, and we need to listen to all the different things Jesus has to say and start building our life on Jesus. And so the title of this first session is called Discipleship. Now, discipleship just means being an apprentice or a follower of Jesus. So really someone who listens to Jesus, follows Jesus, and tries to put what Jesus says into practice in their life. And if we become disciples of Jesus, we listen to him, we follow him, and we try and put things into practice in our life, then what will happen is this. We will be disciples of Jesus. We'll be wise people. And when the storms of life come and stuff hits us, we won't fall apart. We'll keep standing, and we'll keep going, and we'll not just survive life, but we'll be a success in life. Now I want to ask my wife Amanda about some people in the Gospels who Jesus asked to follow him. So tell us about those people, Amanda. Again, Jesus' own words.
Well, if you're looking at Matthew 4, verse 18 to 22, it just says, and Jesus walked beside the Sea of Galilee, and he saw two brothers, Simon called Peter, and Andrew, his brother, throwing a net into the sea, for they were fishermen. And he said to them, follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. They immediately left their nets, and they followed him. And going on from there, he saw two other brothers, James, the son of Zebedee, and John, his brother, in a boat with Zebedee, their father, mending their nets. And he called them, and they immediately left the boat and their father and followed him. And there's Jesus. He's walking along. He's just simply going along the side of the beach, just doing what he thinks he's supposed to be doing. And then he comes across four people that he's calling, and he sees them, first of all, just doing their everyday business, doing their work, going along, and he calls them, and they immediately respond to him. And I know there's people, they're responding to Jesus, but they need to take that step to actually follow him as well, to hear his voice and to follow him. Just like Simon, just like Andrew, just like James, and just like John. They left what they were doing and they followed Jesus. It didn't matter that they were engrossed in their work. They heard Jesus' call and they followed him.
That's awesome, isn't it? You know, and so if you want to take Jesus seriously, you might have to give up a few things. You might have to turn your back on a few things. Not everyone has to walk out their place at work. Don't try that unless you know Jesus definitely called you to do it. But whatever he calls you to do, do it. Let me read you a verse from Matthew 16. This is from verse 24. Then Jesus said to his disciples, so again, it's Jesus speaking, if anyone desires to come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. Whoever desires to save his life will lose it. Whoever decides to lose his life for me will find it. You know, we have a choice, don't we? We can try and hold on to all the stuff in our life. If you do that, it'll eventually slip through your fingers. The tighter we hold on to it, the quicker it seems to slip through our fingers. But if we decide we're just going to lay everything down for Jesus and listen to Jesus, you find out all these things get added to you.
Yes.
You don't miss out on anything. You know, I was really concerned if I became a full-time minister, I'd miss out on traveling. You know, I traveled a lot when I was a child. You traveled a lot when you were a child as well. And we enjoy traveling. But I tell you what, haven't we traveled so many places now? Jesus has taken us places we would never have gone, you know, and it's just wonderful. I've just come back from Serbia. We're off to, you know, we've been to Texas this year and so on and so forth. So don't be worried about following Jesus. You give up things. He will make sure he makes it up to you. But sometimes there's a gap and you have to give up that thing. It's not easy, but that's all part of following Jesus. So that's where I want to end this lesson today. I want to challenge every one of you to take seriously this call to follow Jesus. I mean, he says here, take up your cross and follow me. Now, you don't have to die on a cross. You don't have to go and nail yourself to a cross. But sometimes what you want and what Jesus says, they cross. Yes. And when they cross, you've got to choose what Jesus said. That'll lead you to that peace of mind. That'll lead you to the greater blessings. That'll lead you to the higher life. So let's put those things in. And you want to say a simple prayer with me right now and just say, Father, I choose to follow Jesus. You can repeat that after me in your living room or wherever you're watching this. Father, I just choose to follow Jesus. And wherever Jesus leads me, then I will follow him. Amen. It's a very simple prayer. Now, if you want to know more about how to follow Jesus and what kind of things Jesus is saying, then keep watching this series, and we're going to have a great time. So thank you very much for watching this first one. Nice, short, simple. I believe it's helped you. I believe it's helped change your life. And tune into the second one when you get a chance. Thank you very much.